for by the New World Order.
Oh, you didn't know?
You ready? Let's go!
Are you ready? I said, are you ready? Feed me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, my name is Big Daddy Cool Vinny Apicella, and I'm here with another attack to your audiological senses called the Sportswire. And you know what? You're right. We just I just recorded an episode 2 days ago on Saturday, the 20th of June. But you know what? Today's Monday, and it's our normal day to record, so we're going to put out another podcast here. So, obviously, there's not a lot of sports action that happened. However, there is some great news. Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod of the New York Yankees, becomes the 29th member of the elusive 3,000 hit club. And, celebrations all around. He celebrated with his teammates, celebrated with, his family down in the Bronx. It happened on grand fashion, just like Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter was also one of the members of the 3,000 hit club, and he ended up getting his 3,000th hit off a home run in grand fashion. So, just like Jeter, A-Rod did the same thing, and now he's pretty much guaranteed to go in the Hall of Fame. At least, in my opinion, he's guaranteed to go in the Hall of Fame. So big props, big congratulations to Alex Rodriguez, or as John Sterling would call him, Alexander Emmanuel Rodriguez. Okay, so we've got some stuff to talk about. I just put a post on Facebook. If you are a follower of the Sportswire, I just put a post on. You know what? Maybe I should share it to the other pages while I'm thinking about it. And I put a post because. What I'm going to be doing today is I am going to be going over certain fantasy matchups, if you will. And what that means is I'm not talking about just WWE wrestlers, and I'm not just talking about TNA wrestlers or fantasy matchups that may never happen in WWE. What I'm talking about is like Celebrity Deathmatch. You remember that show with the claymations and Stone Cold Steve Austin was absolutely fantastic in that show because, well, quite honestly, he's he's awesome. I listen to his podcast as well all the time, but Stone Cold Steve Austin was on Celebrity Deathmatch all the time. He was one of the commentators, announcers, whatever you want to call them. But he ended up I will say that Celebrity Deathmatch was actually a very, very fun show. Why? Because, well, it took people from different genres, different lives, different styles of life, and basically ended up pitting them in what was perceived to be wrestling matches. And it was fun. You had I can't remember all the matches. It's been a long time since I saw a Celebrity Deathmatch. But Dennis Rodman, I think, was in there against Michael Jordan, I think. And there were quite a few different feuds. I remember Austin versus McMahon. They brought in The Undertaker, and quite honestly, it was fun. It was claymation. It was on MTV, and I'm sure, and I've heard that they're trying to bring it back because so many people wanted it and have expressed interest in Celebrity Deathmatch, and I think it was just absolutely fantastic. Before we get into the meat of the show, I got to take care of some business, if you will. I got to go over our sponsors, and a couple of sponsors right here. First off is Wayne Jones Management Company, care of Wayne Jones. Their website is www.blemg.com for management, and the first one, and then another one is Jerry Wilson from It's So Real Productions, and that link, he's on Facebook, which is facebook.com/jerry.wilson.180410. So check them out. They are two of our sponsors here at Sportswire and Fat Cat Radio. You could also check out our websites as well, which is www.swe-ct.com, www.facebook.com/sportswirect, www.myfatcatradio.com, www.facebook.com/fatcatradio-enterprise. Let's see, we've got Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, SoundCloud, Instagram, Foursquare, and those are all SWE Connecticut. And then YouTube and Google Plus are also our Sportswire SWE. So definitely check them out. Check those out. Those are all the ways to. You can also find us on iTunes, and you could search iTunes for the podcasts and search Sportswire, and you'll find us. Look for our flame logo and download or subscribe to the Sportswire podcast on iTunes. All right, so that was the business to get out of the way. Now, what was I talking about? Now, here's what I was talking about on what I'm going to do today. See, first of all, again, like I congratulated Alex Rodriguez, but there's so many people that want to get at Alex Rodriguez because of the whole PED issue and the steroid issue, and that's what gave me the idea of the fantasy matchup edition of the Sportswire. Because we got a few different matches, and like I said, I put a post up on Facebook. If you have any interest in commenting or sending me your ideas, hopefully some people see it before I finish recording. But if you get it afterwards, then I'll use it at the next podcast that I do. A lot of people want to get A-Rod, and then, A-Rod is not necessarily a well-liked person because of the whole PED issue. I know the Yankees have finally come around to him, and, being off all last year, which was probably fitting, honestly, seeing that it was Derek Jeter's end of the year. They don't want too many stories in one year. This year with A-Rod getting his 3,000th hit, it's another story. And A-Rod's probably got a good 2 years left, to actually be able to produce in the Yankees lineup. So I really think that he's going to be doing good things from now on, and show all the doubters and all the haters out there that think that he needs PEDs and steroids in order to make a living in baseball. He's going to silence them very, very, very quickly, because he's still... whereas steroids might help your strength, there's no substitute for hand-eye coordination. So even though, same thing with Barry Bonds, even though his the muscles and the strength and the way to drive the ball probably got better with the PEDs and the steroid use, you still have to connect with a 95 to 100 mile an hour fastball in order to hit it 500 feet. So with that, I don't think PEDs or steroids could help with the hand-eye coordination. It might make it a little sharper, but so will a Red Bull. So, we'll see how everything goes down with that. And we'll see, once A-Rod retires after 5 years, he'll be eligible for the Hall of Fame. In my opinion, I would love to see him going on the first ballot, but I think it might take a little while. He might get blackballed like so many of these other players that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, i.e. Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, Jose Canseco, Jeff Bagwell, Rafael Palmeiro. They all deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, and I think it was complete and utter garbage that the Baseball Writers of America didn't put anybody in to the Hall of Fame a couple years ago, basically wasting a year of eligibility for these players. And then last year, Glavine and Maddox and Schmaltz went in, which, that was great because that's almost the entire Atlanta Braves pitching staff from the late 90s. The only one you're missing is Steve Avery. So it was a great thing to have them go in last year, but or is it this year? Can't remember. But I still say that the baseball. First of all, the Baseball Writers of America have no reason voting on the Hall of Fame. It should be the fans' vote because, quite honestly, the fans are the ones paying for the tickets to go into the stadium. They know who they want to see. Did anybody go to San Francisco Giant games to see Jeff Kent at second base? No, they didn't. They went to see Barry Bonds hit a 500-foot home run. And if the fans voted for the Hall of Fame, which really should be part of it, or at least have some kind of a percentage in the voting rights, Barry Bonds would be in the Hall of Fame right now. Roger Clemens would be in the Hall of Fame right now. Mark McGwire, the late 90s, the battle between McGwire and Sosa, with McGwire getting 70 home runs and then Barry Bonds getting 72 home runs a few years later. That's exciting. That's what the fans want to see. It's not, no, granted, games with singles and doubles, they're exciting because it's small ball. But when you have the balls going out and people get souvenirs, that's what fans like to see. And I firmly believe it. I worked for the New Haven Ravens for a couple of seasons back in the late 90s. And the first year I was actually a bat boy. I was on the field. I was getting the bats. I was doing the scoreboard in the back at Yale Field. It was a fun job, and I really enjoyed it. But to be able to go out into the back parking lot. Now, if you're from the New Haven, West Haven, Connecticut area, and you're familiar with Yale Field, where the parking lot is right behind the wall, and to go out there during batting practice and catch the home runs that are coming out, catch the balls. There may have been many cracked windows back there, but you're getting souvenirs, and that's always fun for fans, especially the kids. When you get a little older, you get to dissect it a little more. As I've matured, my view of the WWE and wrestling has matured as well. So it's the same difference. Where now I look at it from a storyline standpoint and how Vince or Triple H or whoever the writers are could utilize talent better. But when you're a kid, all you see is John Cena. All you see is hustle, loyalty, respect, and never say die or never give up attitude. And that's what draws you to them, whether it be John Cena or Hulk Hogan or, the Attitude Era was a little different because it wasn't catering to the kids as much. It was more about the 18 to 35 male demographics era. But again, The Rock, Steve Austin, they catered to the fans, to the audience. The WWE Hall of Fame is a little different than any other sports Hall of Fame because you've got to be on good terms with the WWE in order to get in. As one former WWE diva is finding out. From what I've heard over the past week, China, Joni Laurer, a.k.a. China, has been lobbying the WWE offices in Stamford, Connecticut about getting into the Hall of Fame. Now, on Steve Austin's podcast, when Triple H was a guest back in December, I believe, or whatever it was, Austin had specifically asked Triple H about China, and the question on everybody's mind is if China would get in the Hall of Fame. And Triple H gave the politically correct corporate answer. When you have a kid who is going on Google or Bing or any of these other search engines, and they don't know China, so they Google China, and up comes her adult film porn career. Well, there's a couple things. Number one, first of all, if you have a kid that's continuously using your computer, put the safe search on. It'll block all of that. So they're not going to be looking at any of Xbox or Vivid Entertainment's One Night in China video. They're going to be looking at China WWE Diva. Those YouTube videos or whatever's on the network of China. So, there are ways to safeguard our youth from seeing that, because, quite honestly, even as an adult, I wouldn't want to see that. So the WWE Hall of Fame, you have to be on good terms. As you can tell, in the past 3 years, between Bruno Sammartino, the Ultimate Warrior, and Macho Man Randy Savage, in the past 3 years, getting into the Hall of Fame, bridges had to be rebuilt. Obviously, everybody knew that Bruno Sammartino had a problem with Vince and the way he was taking the business for years, whether it was the steroids or just how the business is presented. Bruno Sammartino had a problem with how Vince was running it. Triple H came in, he talked to Bruno, and they built a great friendship, and finally Bruno Sammartino came into where he belonged in the WWE Hall of Fame. The same thing with the Ultimate Warrior. He was an icon of the late 80s, early 90s. He fought Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 6 in the Sky Dome in Toronto. He beat Hogan clean, probably his first clean victory in 10 years. Hogan passed the torch to him that night. And, because of all the issues with Vince and money and, holding him up for SummerSlam 91, there was, and then, even WrestleMania in 96, and then the King of the Ring, and again, holding him up for money, Vince finally said, you know what, I'm done. We have quite a bit of stuff going on for you. And then, with Randy Savage, reaching out to Lanny Poffo, who is Randy Savage's brother. And obviously, Macho Man passed away in 2010, I believe. He's finally into the Hall of Fame because it's the right thing for the fans. Quite honestly, it's for the fans, and that's what the Hall of Fame is for, which is why I'm hoping that Martha Hart, the widow of Owen Hart, allows Owen to go into the Hall of Fame and kind of, buries the hatchet with the WWE. I mean, we saw Bret Hart, who buried the hatchet with the WWE with Vince McMahon in order to go into the Hall of Fame himself. Of course, Shawn Michaels wasn't allowed to be present at that ceremony because of everything that went down with the Montreal Screwjob. But quite honestly, I think that people want to see Owen Hart. People want to see these guys that they grew up watching in the Hall of Fame. Even looking in the Attitude Era, you have so many guys that deserve to be. Psycho Sid deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, regardless of the fact that he couldn't talk on the mic without marbles in his mouth. Sid Justice, Psycho Sid, whatever character you want to call him by, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. The Godfather, Charles Wright, who was the Godfather and Papa Shango and the Good Father, and even on the Hulkamania tour of Australia, he was the Pimp Father. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And if he goes in the Hall of Fame, it's like he legitimately runs a strip club in Las Vegas. So you Google Charles Wright, you Google The Godfather, and he was a glorified pimp. And so there's a double standard right there for a little bit. So there's a little bit of a double standard, and you know what, I've also heard that Sunny, also known as, obviously her real name is Tammy Sitch, she actually lives right here in Connecticut, in Branford, Connecticut. As you can tell from the police blotter, quite a few times she's been arrested for substance problems. She's gone to rehab numerous times. I've heard it through the Gorilla Vine that she might actually sign a contract with Red Light Entertainment or Vivid Entertainment or one of these other porn sites to do videos. Now, let me just put it this way. It's the same thing. Will she get kicked out of the Hall of Fame? I don't know. That's up to WWE to figure out. And, she's 50 years old. And for her to be getting into it now at 50, well, I can't really condone that, but that it's her life, it's her choices. And let me just say, when you saw her at the Hall of Fame, she still looked good. But That's what it is. So I'm going to actually go to a song right now. I'm going to go to a song. It's Twism White Piece. Another here's a new song for the Sportswire. I'm not sure how new it is, but Twism White Piece, who is our fellow DJ here at Fat Cat Radio. Here's his song. It's called "Go Hard," right here on the Sportswire.
In this life, yo, never backing down. Go hard on this mic, yo, always rock the crowd. Go hard on the stage, yo, lead a place of mates. Go hard in this game, yo, gotta win the race. I go hard with it, 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 I go hard in this game. Go hard on the stage, go hard on the mic, go hard in this life. I go hard with it each and every day. I go hard with it each and every way. I stray away from lanes too messed up in the brain to see the way my reign stays. No games played, all work, all day. All earned, no fake. Cushy burning all day. Yellow bone going down in hallways. I run this rap game in always. Giving thanks to my savior, all praise. Perfect total package, yep, always. Man, you know the way I go. Full throttle, game on slow. Hit down low, get your trunk full of bangers bumping, haters jumping. When you get to thumping down your block, whether Dodge, Lexus, or Maybach, I'm on top non-stop. Best of the new next. Take a second, get to reppin' Team Elite. Yeah, they flexin'. Look at the path laid before me. Two-steppin' and I'm jigging all day. Two-steppin' and I'm jigging all day. Hard in this life, yo, never backing down. Go hard on this mic, yo, always rock the crowd. Go hard on the stage, yo, lead a place of mates. Go hard in this game, yo, gotta win the race. I go hard with it, 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 I go hard in this game. Go hard on the stage, go hard on the mic, go hard in this life. I go harder than the next man. That's why I'm getting featured as the industry's next man. Keep these haters stressed, man, perplexed and wondering what kind of wonder I'ma be doing next, man. 223's aim, man, I did that. Now I'm on another level where I'm telling Kim folk, go get that. Yellow bone, let me hit that. Kush, man, big bag, let me get that. This rap game, it's a rap kid. I'm on another letter, kid. New boy clothes, man, all up on my back. And the chain so shiny, lightning McQueen flash. And them haters talking smack. Team Elite, go handle that. Man, the game's so addictive that I know you'll come right back. Swag so official, yellow bone coming back to back. Down for the ride, sponsor, you can call him Fat Cat. On my own clothing line, you can go and Google that. Still think you're better, man, where we meeting at? Meeting hard in this life, yo, never backing down. Go hard on this mic, yo, always rock the crowd. Go hard on the stage, yo, lead a place of mates. Go hard in this game, yo, gotta win the race. I go hard with it, 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 I go hard in this game. Go hard on the stage, go hard on the mic, go hard in this life. I go hard.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Go Hard. That was Twism White Piece, our fellow DJ here at Fat Cat Radio. He's on every day in the afternoon. I know he and his wife are kind of picking up the slack for Big Lou and CC, so they're on every day. And Twism White Piece does his show three nights a week, I believe, from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, as well, live on Fat Cat Radio. Check him out, Twism White Piece. I promote him all the time on our SWE and my Big Daddy Cool pages. So, check him out. He's a great talent, great hip-hop artist from Canada, and he just got signed by Red Bull Records. So, check him out, Twism White Piece. That was Go Hard. All right, so let's get on to our first fantasy matchup. And in my opinion, this is something that we'll start with an easy one. We'll start with one that's been in the news a lot, and that's Brock Lesnar and Steve Austin. obviously Austin and Paul Heyman had teased it on the Austin podcast that was on the WWE Network, last month or earlier this month, I should say. And, they teased it, and I don't exactly know, I think it was a worked shoot, so to speak, is that, Heyman brought it up out of the blue, and, Austin got right into cutting a promo about it. And, would it happen WrestleMania 32? Austin said he would only come back if it was a storyline that he thought was beneficial for him, and that he, would have to get into some serious training for it. So, will it happen? I've heard rumors saying it definitely won't happen. But if it did, let's take a gander into the crystal ball of fantasy WWE matchups. And Brock Lesnar and Stone Cold Steve Austin, obviously two different eras. The only time that their paths really crossed was at WrestleMania 20, when Austin was a special guest referee of Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, which that match was absolutely horrible. It was much better on paper than it actually came out in the ring. And, so quite honestly, it was, the proverbial irresistible force meeting the immovable object, and quite honestly, it never got better from there. The best part was Austin stunning them both out of the company at the end of the match. But let's take a gander, if you will. Brock Lesnar, who is quite honestly a beast, former WWE, numerous time WWE champion, former UFC champion, former NCAA Division I champion or whatever, Division I champion, and all this while he was diagnosed with diverticulitis. So he's a beast. Legitimately. He could legitimately beat up anybody. And I don't care whether it's a WWE superstar, UFC fighter, or even just a street fighter. You put Brock in any kind of a competition, he will whip your ass. No doubt about it. No editing, no censorship there. He will whip your ass. And Steve Austin, Steve Austin is a scrapper. He, was a former football player. He, he got out of college or dropped out of college with, from what I heard, 3 credit hours to go till graduation. He dropped out of college and went to work on the loading dock. So he's a strong SOB. And, he's able to move stuff and really fight himself. So if you put those two in a match, I think it would definitely sell out Texas AT&T Field down in Dallas for WrestleMania 32 if it was to happen. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't think it's going to happen. But if it did, it would sell out like crazy. I could see Brock definitely kicking out of the Stone Cold Stunner. He's got a very thick neck. I mean, Brock Lesnar is built like a Sasquatch. And, a Sasquatch with tattoos. And I honestly think his neck is too thick to even be moved, so to speak, to even be affected by the Stone Cold Stunner. Whereas if Austin was hit with the F5, it's one of those things where good night, Mr. Austin. And in my opinion, there's no doubt about it. Brock Lesnar would beat Stone Cold Steve Austin in a heartbeat. So that's our first fantasy matchup. Another fantasy matchup, and I started with WWE because that's where fantasy matchups are. And so the other thing I'm thinking of, the other fantasy matchup is LeBron James versus Michael Jordan. And obviously they're never going to wrestle. But I've heard a lot, and it's been in the media tons of times, where everybody's saying that LeBron James is the best basketball player in history, or he's better than Jordan. He's taking all of his teams to the title games, or whatever. Okay, so now I don't follow basketball, and I'm going to be completely honest with you all people here. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I do not follow basketball. However, I do have a little bit of an opinion on this matter, and the opinion is that nobody, except for maybe Dennis Rodman, but I'll keep my NWO opinions out of it. Michael Jordan is by far the absolute best basketball player in history. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at the 90s, it was dominated by Jordan. And you could say Scottie Pippen and Phil Jackson had a part in it, and then the last three were Rodman. But if you really look at Jordan and the fact that when Jordan was with the Bulls, for those 3 years, the first three championships, I think it was 91 to 94, if I'm not mistaken, and he obviously the Bulls three-peated. When Jordan left and went to go play baseball and film Space Jam and, went to do his other projects, the Bulls completely dropped out of contention to the point where the Houston Rockets won those other two titles, which I think were in 93 and 94, if I'm not mistaken, or 92 and 93 maybe. Maybe it was 90, 91, 92 for the Bulls, 93 and 94. Yes, it was. 93 and 94 for the Rockets. And the reason why I know that is because I remember 94 was the World Championships of basketball, and it was Dream Team 2. Hakeem Olajuwon and Shaquille O'Neal were the two centers on that team, and they had just faced off the Rockets and the Magic in the NBA championships. Then I remember their Taco Bell commercials for the newly invented at the time double-decker taco. So, of course, with me, it goes back to food. So, well, it is what it is. So, and then in 95, was it 95? Yeah, 95, Michael Jordan came back. And what happened? The Bulls won 3 more titles in a row, 95, 96, 97. And, or the 95 to 96 season, 96, 97, 97, 98. Yeah, because I remember Dennis Rodman, when he was in his WCW days, he actually missed a practice to go to Nitro. And so it was in the middle of Monday Night War, so I know it had to be 96, 97, 98, which would be 95 and 94 for the Rockets, and then 91, 92, 93 for the Bulls originally. And, so that's Jordan. Jordan was the key to that team. Now, of course, everything is arguable, but in my opinion, it was Jordan. LeBron, now, obviously the Cavaliers just lost the finals, and you could blame it on Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love being hurt, and the Cavaliers being a subpar team for the whole season. They still made the championship, though, and that was because of LeBron. LeBron goes to Miami, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, all 4 years they make it to the championship, but only one of the 4, or 2 of the 4, they actually won. And prior to that, 8 years in Cleveland, and I know they won at least a championship there. Now I'm not the kind of person that unless it's an individual sport, like an individual competition like WWE or wrestling, I don't base who's good and who's bad based on how many championships they've won. What I base it on is how much of an impact they make on their team. Now, with, obviously when LeBron James was in Miami, he had, D-Wade and Chris Bosh on both sides, the big three. And, and then they added Ray Allen in a little later on. They made the championship. And that was for all 4 of his years in Miami. Before he gets to Miami, he's in Cleveland. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I don't know how many times Cleveland made the championship. I know they won at least one of them. But, LeBron James has been an MVP in the last 12, 13 seasons of his team. Now, in my opinion, I think that LeBron James would be the much better teammate, because he's also very selfless. He's come under a lot of pressure because, in big situations, he'll pass the ball away to somebody else instead of taking the shot. Whereas Jordan, he liked to have the spotlight on him, whether it was a hook shot at the end of the game or, he was the one doing the game-winning jumper. He wanted to have the ball at the end of the game. Do I blame him? Absolutely not, because he was, in my opinion, one of the greatest players of all time. Now, the winner, in my opinion, would be LeBron James. And here's why. I think LeBron James would if it was, not even if it was in a WWE ring, but on a basketball court in a one-on-one game, I think in a one-on-one game, I think Jordan would win, hands down, because Jordan would take the shot. In this era Cleveland Cavaliers versus that era Chicago Bulls, this era Cleveland Cavaliers would win, because LeBron James is selfless and knows if he can't make the shot, he'll pass it off. And I know he's come under a lot of scrutiny and a lot of hot water for that, because he won't take the shot. But you know what? He's a selfless player, and that's, in my opinion, much more important than having all the glory. Now, I've always likened Michael Jordan to Bret Hart. I never liked Bret Hart. I still don't like Bret Hart. And it's because Bret Hart is nothing more than a self-promoter to the point where he thinks his crap don't stink, and he thinks he's like you said, his tag phrase, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Well, that's not even remotely close to who, in my opinion, who Bret Hart is. Bret Hart, first of all, the best there is right now is John Cena, hands down. The best there will always be Hulk Hogan. The best there ever will be still hasn't been produced yet. And if you want to think of the best there ever will be, right now, if you look at it, it would be The Rock. So there's no, Bret Hart is not even in that conversation. Great technical wrestler. I don't think he ever deserved the world title, and he was just given the world title to please him so he didn't leave. But Vince knew that he didn't need Bret Hart, because Vince is going in a younger direction with Austin and DX and all that. So he made it easy for Bret to go to WCW. And what did he do? What did Bret do when he didn't have Vince backing him? He floundered. Even when Bret joined the NWO and NWO 2000, he floundered because he didn't have that driving force of Vince McMahon behind him. So, I know I'm getting a little offhand, but so in my first fantasy matchup, Brock Lesnar would beat Steve Austin hands down. And my second one, in a one-on-one match, in a one-on-one game, Michael Jordan would beat LeBron James. In this era Cleveland Cavaliers versus that era Chicago Bulls, I personally feel that this era Cleveland Cavaliers would beat that era Chicago Bulls. And, and that's a Bulls team coached by Phil Jackson with Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman. So, and that's in my opinion. All right, so we're going to get to our next song right now. This is a new artist that I've never played on the Sportswire before. It's Jenna Marotta, and it's called Never Forget, right here on the Sportswire.
Can't fly without you, baby. Go slow, you move too quickly. Wasn't ready to fly on my own. You grew to love me, baby. Our love was not forsaken. We took a vow all the time. just knowing that you are mine. The nights at times stood still, baby, from the minute you left. I keep praying to Jesus, let this be a dream.
All right, and that was Never Forget by Jenna Marotta right here on the Sportswire. New artist that I've never actually played before, but great singer. Check her out, Jenna Marotta, Never Forget right here on the Sportswire. Okay, so we talked about 2 fantasy matchups already. Let's go on to another one. Here's one that might cause some controversy. Okay. As if nothing I talk about ever causes controversy right here on the Sportswire. But here's one. Alex Rodriguez versus Derek Jeter. And let's examine that a little bit, because some might say you're comparing apples to oranges. Well, you're not, because they're both very talented baseball players. And if you remember, they both started their career at shortstop. And then when A-Rod came to the Yankees, he ended up becoming, he ended up moving over to third base, and then now he's actually DHing and at first base. But he was a shortstop at the beginning of his career. Now, in a pure power battle, A-Rod would win hands down. And I'm not even talking about PED A-Rod. I'm talking about Alex Rodriguez normally. I'm not talking about the PEDs, scandal. So I'm talking specifically about A-Rod, himself, and that he would end up, beating Derek Jeter in a home run derby, no matter what you want to call it. Now, if you want to talk about as a person, hands down, Derek Jeter would win it, because Derek Jeter is, the former captain of the WWE, because he was definitely the captain. He was the first captain since Thurman Munson. So that tells you right there what the New York Yankees thought about him. And for the Yankees universe to embrace Derek Jeter like that, he really made a splash in the Bronx. He came up at the tail end of the 95 season, and he ended up winning the Rookie of the Year award in 96. The year before that, I believe A-Rod won the Rookie of the Year in 95 for the Seattle Mariners, which, if you remember, the Seattle Mariners beat the Yankees in the wild card series with Kenny Griffey Jr. scoring from first base. That was always a sore spot for me. I never liked Kenny Griffey Jr. because he was always a Yankee killer. But quite honestly, they're both great caliber athletes, and they were really good friends for a while until A-Rod started getting full of himself and getting a big head. So Alex Rodriguez and their friendship had fractured for a little while. I guess there was an interview where Alex had said he was much better than Jeter and this and that. I read Derek Jeter's biography called The Captain, but it didn't really go into, or I can't remember exactly what it said about, how they had reconciled it, but they did, because obviously they were playing together, and, they sat down, they buried the hatchet. And Jeter was hurt, especially with the PEDs lately. But you know what? it happened. And in my opinion, and this is my opinion as well. Now, so overall, who would win? If you're looking for a tough guy, obviously if you're taking steroids, you're going to be a lot stronger. So in that aspect, yes, I would go with Alex Rodriguez hands down. But if you're looking for a man of moral character and a man of ethics and a man of character that you'd want your kids to look up to, Derek Jeter, no doubt. Derek Jeter was hardly ever in the news for any kind of relationship issue or whatever. I mean, yes, it was publicized that he had dated Mariah Carey for a little while, but he was never out there in the spotlight when it came to his relationships. A-Rod has been linked to Madonna, and this is while he was married. So, you know, he's cheated on his wife. They actually got divorced. You know, he was with former WWE diva Tori Wilson for a while, and they're no longer together anymore. So, you know, his exploits in the public eye make him to the point where he's not someone that you would want your kids to look up to. And, you know, that's why it's like my son, who's 9 years old and very impressionable when it comes to sports and idolizing people, which you really shouldn't idolize people, but, you know, it's Derek Jeter as terms of the, you know, the Yankee. You know, he's from a long line of Yankees that were Yankees for their entire career, be it Bernie Williams, be it Don Mattingly, be it, you know, going back to Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio, and, you know, he was the definition of Yankee, and where A-Rod went more for the money. So that's where the similarities stop, and you know, the differences begin. And in my opinion, here we go, drum roll please. In my opinion, I think it's a tie. And I say that because I think Derek Jeter has the heart of, say, a John Cena, but Alex Rodriguez is like a Brock Lesnar from SummerSlam. So it's one of those things where I think it would be a tie. I would side generally with Derek Jeter because he was an all-around great Yankee, great player. But A-Rod is great as well. But as a person, it would have to be Jeter, so I'd have to give the edge to Jeter. Okay, we're going to go to another song right now. Here's one I haven't played in a while. It's Never Take Us Down by Jay Deuce and Friends, right here on the Sportswire.
From the vast, expansive universe, a small city in the heart of the United States, one borough is responsible for the birth of hip-hop.
Say on the track with an army behind me. Say on the track with an army behind me. And say on the track with an army behind me. And say on the track. And say on the track, signified in the back. Got an army all behind me, opposition is whack. Devils try to take me down, but we're sending them back. This is not your opinion, this is a matter of fact. I'ma make the speakers blow, better keep it on track. Knowing who is on my side by the way that they act. Many people can rhyme, but not many can rap. If you don't respect the game, then you're caught in the trap. People try to take me down, but there's something they lack. It's a call of my God, it's picking up all the slack. Sets us up on the map. What you thinking of that? I'm believing in the meaning of the truth in this crap. Try it all you want, you'll never take me down. Get up on my block, you'll never take me down. Baby's how we live, you'll never take me down. Never, 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 no. Try it all you want, you'll never take me down. Get up on my block, you'll never take me down.
want something real? Let us be your satisfaction. Similar to NFL Madden, these tracks are tackling. I look to inspire with the rhymes I'm stacking. It develops into verses supposed to be attractive. So it looks good, consider it lyrical fashion. Cause my concepts and metaphors are all matching. Ain't nothing about me fake, so you know I ain't acting. But I'm still entertaining, so lights, camera, action. Bump me in your headphones, your head is in the hurricane. That's how it is, the way I blow your mind away. Prepare me with the Tampa Bay Rays, cause I'm the underdog fighting, taking out the devil, Lord Devil.
Try it all you want, you'll never take me down. Get up on my block, you'll never take me down. That's how we live, you'll never take me down. Never, 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 no. Try it all you want, you'll never take me down. Get up on my block, you'll never take me down. That's how we live, you'll never take me down. Never, 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 no.
Honor God, that's the name that I'm living by. I'm saved from the sin and how I'm praising the living God. I serve him, hate sin, I'm a vessel. I use gifts, bless you like het you. Bless me, Lord, teach me how to live life, imitating the perfect example that is Christ. Everybody dies, but not everybody lives. So we serve Jesus because life is who he is.
I'm the James, this is far from a phase. I'm shooting every phrase, aim to give my God praise. In my sins I was chained, living something like a slave in a cave, so afraid. Now I'm boasting on his name. He is the lion, coming down from Zion. No lying or denying, after troubles come to triumph. Don't fear 2012, no mind hieroglyphics. I will not fidget, get my wisdom from his scriptures.
Try it all you want, you'll never take me down. Get up on my block, you'll never take me down. That's how we live, you'll never take me down. Never, 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 no. Try it all you want, you'll never take me down. Get up on my block, you'll never take me down. That's how we live, you'll never take me down. Never, 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 no.
Garden of Eden, I'm dancing through the Garden of Eden. Garden of Eden, I'm dancing through the Garden of Eden. I'm lyrically on another level, got my dancing shoes on, but I ain't dancing with the devil. So don't go mentioning my name, boy. I'd rather sit here playing the games on my Game Boy. You know I've been on top of my game, boy. I'm just spreading the love so we can all share the same joy, yeah. It feels good, don't it? Still got a long way to go, but we came a long way from it, oh. I'm repping the South, but I'm from the North, though. Home of the Raptors, we shooting free throws. This is my Michael Jordan year, I'm on my MVP flow. Look at me go, maybe it's just my ego. I got real followers and they go wherever we go. Dude's got 1 million followers, but none in real life. Yeah, they got the views up, but that don't mean the point of view's right. Now follow me as I'm dancing through the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden, I'm dancing through the Garden of Eden. Yeah, the Garden of Eden, I'm dancing through the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, alright, look, so I'm dancing through the Garden of Eden. I got my shoes on, laced up, ready to go. Let's get this ball on, I'm on my ball wherever I go. In my garden, I'm the sunlight that helps nature to grow. It's only natural I blow, like the wind and the leaves. I'm so breezy, fresh lemon squeezy. Chilling in the garden where needs aren't really needed. Flaws aren't seen, cause we just focus on breathing. Like, I'm just trying to let y'all in for the first time. Please don't make me have to think twice about being nice. Come take a walk with me in the garden that I sowed. Only with the best seeds, come with me and you'll see. No Wonka, but life for me is so sweet. I'm just trying to eat and then feed. Let's eat. Get up on my feet and then leap. Frog over obstacles, all dreams are possible. Even when you wake up, wake up. Dance to the beat of life. Cause everything's gonna be alright. Take my hand and let's dance in the Garden of Eden. In the Garden of Eden. Take my hand and let's dance in the Garden of Eden. In the Garden of Eden. Take my hand and let's dance.
All right, and that was actually 2 songs in a row, folks. It was, first of all, it was "Never Take Us Down" by Jay Deuce and Friends, and then it was "Garden of Eden" by Dean Wild. Another song we haven't played in a while here on the Sportswire. But you know, it's one of those things. One of those is our fantasy matchup show, and we've gone through 3 of them right now so far. We've gone through Stone Cold Steve Austin against Brock Lesnar. We've gone through Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. We've gone through Alex Rodriguez versus Derek Jeter. Now for our fourth. Actually, this one is one that I've personally taken a liking to, and it is Donald Trump versus Barack Obama. And it's ever since Donald Trump actually officially announced his candidacy for president of the United States, everybody's like, oh, he's just self-promoting. He's I've even had people come up to me and say, he's just doing a Ross Perot to get in there to shake things up. He's never going to win. Well, you know what? I'm firmly endorsing and fully endorsing Donald Trump, who is a WWE Hall of Famer, for president of the United States coming up in 2016. First of all, Barack Obama. Here I am, stuck on Brock Lesnar. Barack Obama cannot run again. So if it's whoever the Democrats going to be, it's looking like it might be Hillary Clinton who's going to come out of the Democratic Party. I'm hoping it's Donald Trump. I really am. He's a businessman in the White House. He says it like it is. He pisses people off. He's got opinions, and he's going to do what he has to do. And, a lot of people don't like that, but I do. And I've said it from day one. We need a business person in the White House. So, in terms of physical strength, Donald Trump would win hands down. Did you see the clothesline, the tackle that he did on Mr. McMahon at WrestleMania 23? And the fact that he's a WWE Hall of Famer? He's got charisma. He's got the look other than the hair. But, he's got the physicality. Oh, my goodness, I'm going to keep saying that. Barack Obama, on the other hand, he's a career politician. He's got no backbone because he hasn't done a damn thing since getting in office 8 years ago. He tripled or quadrupled our national debt to China and Japan, to try to pay off what we already had borrowed under the Bush regime. He's wasted millions of dollars on this war on terror in Afghanistan and still sticks our nose where it doesn't belong. Now, I want to be perfectly clear about this. It has nothing to do with race. And the reason why I wanted to say that is because too many people are, oh, it's a white versus black thing. No, it's not. I am very excited. I was very encouraged and happy that Barack Obama won the presidential election in 2008 because he was the first black president in the nation. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. However, he's shown that he can't get things accomplished. Donald Trump said perfectly the biggest garbage move that he ever did was creating Obamacare. And I went over on my last show. This thing where everybody's forced to have insurance, the Affordable Care Act, but it's not affordable. If you're paying $200 a month for medical insurance, but you can't pay for things out of that you need, like food, there's something wrong there. So that's a crock of garbage. The Affordable Care Act, in terms of international foreign relations. We started talking to Cuba again, which is great, but everything broke down with Iran and the Middle East, and Donald Trump just has more contacts and more negotiating skills because he's a business person instead of a career politician who fills the whole thing up with bureaucracy and political red tape that nobody really gets things accomplished. So for Donald Trump to come in and say, this is what we're going to do, he has even if Congress doesn't approve things, he has the money to do it himself. And that's the thing. He is a multimillionaire. He is rich. He might have even gotten to billionaire. I don't know. But he's able to do things on his own. And that's what people do not understand. I firmly endorse Donald Trump. And in my opinion, Donald Trump would win any kind of match, be it fantasy or reality, against Barack Obama and President Obama. If I was to do Donald Trump against George W. Bush, even still, Donald Trump would win because George W. just looked like Howdy Doody with the ears coming off his head and didn't do a damn thing for our country. He ruined our country. After Bill Clinton did so great for our country, George W. came in and completely tanked us, and Obama hasn't done anything to get us out. So, we need to change in this country, and I'm jumping on the bandwagon of Donald Trump. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so we're going to get to another song right now. I know it's a quick segment, but we're going to go with a favorite here of the Sportswire. It's by Second Skin. It's called Bottle. So here we go with Bottle by Second Skin right here on the Sportswire. And that was Second Skin with Bottom of the Bottle, or Bottle, I should say, right here on the Sportswire. Okay, so while we were in the middle of the song break, I just got an email. All right, so let's push this. Hashtag Vote Yankees. Get Brian McCann and Alex Rodriguez to the All-Star game. Major League Baseball's fifth voting update was released Monday with Brian McCann and Alex Rodriguez remaining among the top 5 at their respective positions. Time is running out. Hashtag Vote McCann and hashtag Vote A-Rod into the 2015 All-Star game. Our Yankees need a boost. Hashtag vote Yankees and vote often to ensure your Yankees make it to the All-Star game in Cincinnati. The 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot voting ends on Thursday, July 2nd, 2015. So go to MLB.com and definitely vote for the New York baseball Yankees. Because, well, we got to get more Yankees into the Cincinnati into the All-Star game. And I will push that because they're my favorite team. All right, so we're gonna go to our favorite segment of the show. And that's right, it's the dumb law of the day. This today, we're going to go to the great state of Alabama, down south. We're going. So, here we go. Dumb laws in Alabama. Bear wrestling matches are prohibited. So that means Stu Hart cannot wrestle his bear in Alabama. Incestuous marriages are legal, but yet it is illegal to impersonate a person of the clergy. It is illegal to maim oneself to escape duty. Putting salt on a railroad track may be punishable by death. Boogers may not be flicked into the wind. That's awesome. Booger's my pick. Does anybody remember that from Survivor Series or from from the Royal Rumble or one of the matches where Bobby Heenan and Vince McMahon? Booger's my pick. Remember that? No? Oh well. Donald Trump he filed his statement of candidacy with the Federal Elections Committee. Let's hashtag Make America Great Again. And I like that, and I am going to share that across all of my platforms and across all of my pages because Donald Trump, in my opinion, should be the absolute next president of the United States of America. So I am going to share that on my Big Daddy Cool page, and I'm going to share that on my SWE page as well. So, I'm definitely firmly supporting Donald Trump. And let me take care of that now. There we go. All right. All right. It is illegal to drive. It is legal, to drive. It is legal to drive the wrong way down a one-way street if you have a lantern attached to the front of your automobile. So if you put a lantern in the front of your automobile, it's okay to go down a one-way street the wrong way. You must have windshield wipers on your car. I think they're common nowadays. You may not have an ice cream cone in your back pocket at any time. I don't know who would. Masks may not be worn in public. Of course, that goes back to the KKK days. It is considered an offense to open an umbrella on a street for fear of spooking horses. I haven't been to Alabama, but if they have a lot of horses on the street, you don't want to open up an umbrella on the street. Women are able to retain all property they own prior to marriage in the case of divorce. However, this provision does not apply to men. So the saying runs true. What's mine is mine, what's yours is mine when it comes to a woman in a divorce. It is illegal to sell peanuts in Lee County after sundown on Wednesday. It is illegal for a driver to be blindfolded while operating a vehicle. Well, I would think that's quite a big distracting if you can't see where you're going. Dominoes may not be played on a Sunday, and it is illegal to wear a fake mustache that causes laughter. That causes laughter in church. Oh, bother. These are all coming from dumblaws.com. In Anniston, Alabama, you may not wear blue jeans down Noble Street. Well, yeah, you want to look noble. In Auburn, Alabama, no person may spit on the floor of a church. It is illegal to bike, roller skate, skateboard, or inline skate in a commercially zoned area. Men who deflower virgins, regardless of age or marital status, may face up to 5 years in jail. Well, what happens if you're married to the virgin? For having sex with your virgin wife, you could end up with 5 years in jail. How do you ever procreate? And that's it for the dumb laws in Alabama. Folks, it's been a fun show. I hope you all enjoyed it. We had a great time, and I really liked it. I'm hoping to get some Skype interviews going. I want to make sure the Skype will work with the Spreaker broadcasting console, and it's something I have to check. and find somebody to help me check. So thanks for listening, folks. Thanks for downloading it. I want to thank our sponsors. Let me get to them first because I don't remember them off the top of my head. And I want to thank our musical guests that I played today. And the musical guests are... Oh, wrong one. Where are we? Oh, here we go. Our musical guests, Jay Deuce, Dean Wild, Twism White Peace, Jenna Marotta, and Second Skin. And then our sponsors are, if I can get to them, let's see, here we go. Wayne Jones Management Company, care of Wayne Jones. The website is www.blemg.com. And also Jerry Wilson of It's So Real Productions, and it's facebook.com/jerry.wilson.180410. Check out those websites. Check out those sponsors. Thank you for their sponsorship of the Sportswire, in turn because of their sponsorship of Fat Cat Radio. Also visit our website, www.swe-ct.com, www.myfatcatradio.com, www.facebook.com/sportswirect, www.facebook.com/BDC Vinny Apicella, facebook.com/Fat Cat Radio Enterprise, Pinterest, Google, Pinterest, Instagram, Foursquare, Twitter, Tumblr, SoundCloud. They're all at SWE Connecticut. And then YouTube and Google Plus are Sportswire SWE. You can also find us and download us and subscribe to us on iTunes by searching Sportswire and looking for our flame logo. Folks, I hope you enjoyed our fantasy matchup show and how ingenious it was and how interesting and unique it was. If you have any questions or comments, definitely hit us up on those different times. If you have a specific email you want to talk to me about, be it sponsorship or becoming a co-host, you can always hit me up, sportswire@swe-ct.com. Folks, have a great week. We'll be back later on this week with another podcast right here on the Sportswire.